All right, let's call it to order, for our monthly board meeting. All right, I'd like
First
to,
order of business,
yeah,
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we approve last month's minutes.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Could I, just get a confirmation who's on from the board on the phone?
Mike Palumbo here.
Ken's on.
Jennifer Darby.
Jan, are you on?
I'm on Zoom, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I had all the, welcome everybody online and also all the board members are present, one place or the other. So the minutes meeting's been approved and you can see it's highlighted because I always screw this up, so we had to highlight for my attention deficit. Okay, for the president's update, so I just wanted to remember that on February 23rd, we had a grass fire that got all of our attention. It was fortunately, the best I know, the grass fire started on the Weems Ranch. The wind moved it a bit to the west and then shifted to the south. About 150 acres were eventually burned. Very, very fortunate. We have such a great fire department, Larkspur and the mutual aid. Were able to put the fire out with minimal impact. It did wake up a lot of the neighbors in the park to pay attention to fire mitigation and preparation, as well as our management team has been working on a business resumption plan. And one of those scenarios, of course, is a fire mitigation. I was very proud to see that the staff took some quick actions to account for everybody that was here from the staff and members to stay in touch with the fire department, be prepared to evacuate the building if needed, as instructed, and some lessons learned and be applied to the plan. But we all were very fortunate and we're thankful for both the fire department and for our management team for being prepared to respond, so. Another big activity is this last month's been really busy. A lot of it's being driven by our capital needs and our capital program with LRP driving, updating. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, priorities, but Dan McMahon's been subcommittee, and he's been working with the directors and committees to validate what the third party has told us we need to do to refurbish our facilities and catch up with our obligatory capital needs. One of those we'll talk about is prioritizing some of our golf course maintenance equipment. Many of it's dated, missing some pieces that we could really use. And so a lot of work's been going on in prioritizing that equipment purchases as well as the rest of the capital expenditures that we need. So some really good information and on the information on the study that was done to what it takes to implement our strategy. But as we expected, there's opportunities and more opportunities than we have funds. So we're gonna have to be smart and conservative and innovative on how to achieve our goals with the money that we do have. And then the third thing is just, hey, we're all getting ready for golf. It's time to get signed up for tournaments and league plays. And if you're not getting information, reach out to Keith in the pro shop and make sure you get it. And we're sure looking forward to the snow melting off and opening up the golf course again.
Since the last meeting and prior to this meeting, we always report on the key decisions or votes that been undertaken by the board. We approved a number of authorizations for expenditure, including pro shop remodel. This is in the office area, where our staff does all their paperwork and computer work. That was the amount of $5,600. In addition, we approved 3 expenditures for course equipment purchases, equipment that came available in a difficult equipment market in short supply. $23,500 for a mid-transport vehicle, $41,760 for a working utility vehicle, and $37,170 for a 4-wheel drive utility vehicle. In addition, we approved 1 new social membership and 1 professional membership. And finally, we approved a proposal from the grounds committee to commit 18% of our capital budget on an annual basis to
Is it my FaceTime HD camera? It was off on.
It's on.
Yeah, I know.
Turn it
Well,
on.
I just clicked it. Which one do I?
Just turn this.
Somebody needs to go on mute.
Stop.
Bob, we hear you, Bob.
Mr. Patterson, need to go on mute. There he is. Okay.
Okay. Mike, you come off of mute.
We ready?
We can hear you.
Okay, good. You want to go to the next slide?
Trying.
So while you're working on that, long-range planning has been working with all of the committees and all of the directors to identify which needs we're going to be working on this year. We have a very long list of obligatory projects, and we recognize that we can't just do the things that we have to do. We have to do some of the things that are going to really be beneficial to the membership as a whole. So we're constantly working on many, many projects, but I put together a partial trending along of projects that we are talking about. Some of them we're doing budgets, some of them we're just doing strategies, and we're working on different possibilities. Other than the first project, none of these have been approved. So the first one is the hole number 110 drainage, which was approved in December of last year, and the work will probably occur in the 4th quarter of this year because timing is so critical about when that work can be done. Additionally, dam repairs, which is a project that we really are obligated to do because of jurisdictions that are dictating to us that we need to do that work. And that work will, again, probably be coming up in the fall of this year. Another project that's really, back up, another project that's really important. We built a new parking lot a few years ago, and if we don't maintain it, we're going to find ourselves in a sad position like we were with the last parking lot. So we plan on sometime this spring or summer to reseal that parking lot, to maintain the asset, and then also to restripe it. You heard Bob talk about the grounds and greens equipment. The list is long, and we're not going to be able to purchase everything needed, but we've got a plan together so we continue to improve the equipment that's much of it's been around a very long time, and much of it is outused its useful life. And Jason and his team have worked hard to continue to get it going, but it's time to replace a bunch of it. There's a long list of course improvements that are being discussed. Another project that's being considered is what we're calling the Lakeside Plaza South Fire Pit. This is a project that J.E. Dunn has proposed to pay for that project. And so we're working through the details to be sure that it will work out and everything is fine. So more to follow on that. Pool deck upgrades. I've been here 30 years. And when I first joined, I was told that the pool deck is an eyesore, no doubt about it, but don't worry about it. We're going to replace it in a couple of years. So it'll just be what it is. That was 30 years ago. We think it's time to do an upgrade and fix that area so it's not only more attractive, but also more user-friendly and an opportunity to do events and other activities on that. So again, we're looking at design concepts, we're looking at budgets, and we're looking at bringing that forward later on this spring or summer. Heated walkway, the concrete walkway between the parking lot and the main entry gets very dangerous in the wintertime. And we looked at several options on how to improve that. And believe it or not, probably the best solution is adding a heated walkway in there, take the concrete out, re-pour it with a heated system in there is going to be much better and probably in the long run, much more cost effective than just putting, heated carpets down or other variety of other things. Men's and women's lockers. We all know that the lockers in the locker rooms are not very usable. We're considering the possibility of replacing those with new lockers that actually could be used. They're large enough to hold golf clubs, plus a shelf for additional things, maybe shirts, maybe golf balls, anything else that you might want to hold in there. So we're going to make them wider and much more functional. We think there's a return on our investment there because most clubs, when they have legitimate lockers, can rent those and turn a profit on those. So that's a project we're looking at. We need to repair and paint the Manor House north elevation. Most people never see it, but it's to the point that if we don't do something, we're going to have moisture and damage out there. So we need to get that done. Then Manor House, kitchen equipment and furnishings. There's a variety of projects under consideration. Outside furnishings for if we do the pool deck or if we do the plaza, we're looking at additional furnishings out there. And then building a set of stairs right outside of Keith's office down to the future fire pit, which would allow accessibility to not just the membership, but the kitchen staff, or the wait staff, and everybody else, which we believe would generate additional revenue through providing food and beverages out to the fire pit. So that's just a partial listing, but it's things that we're spending days on studying, evaluating, and coming up with proposals or recommendations to move forward on some of these projects. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike.
Hello, everyone. This is Lori, virtual tonight. So I just could cover the financials really quick. For on the right, it really gives a good summary of each department where we have some shortfalls or savings to the budget. Overall, we are 37,000 behind on our budget for January and February. Not a lot of concern. There's a couple things that we just missed in the budget calculations per trend of last year. But what's really great to see is that we have high income from sales for food and beverage. So we got a lot of people coming to the golf course in the off season. So we expect that to continue as we get into the golf season. We saw a slightly lower sign up for golf cart purchases, either be private or the annual programs. So if you haven't signed up for that and you want to, you can still do that. We'll just get that billed whenever you reach out to us. So golf merchandise sales are starting above budget, so that's great to see. Working on going through trends and watching some things. We're slow to start on sales for the year, but Atlanta has a lot of tours coming up. There's a lot of activity and membership, and it's somewhat what we expect to see as we're asking a higher initiation fee for members to come in and they want to play the course. So hopefully that will be happening soon. And I believe the first quarter, we're going to make up that difference and everything is going to look pretty good. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay,
I'm good.
thank you, Lori.
Yep.
All right, this is something new. This is Nate, and we've always kind of featured an employee every board meeting, every month. But moving forward, we're gonna take any of the new hires that happen within this quarter and feature them. So everybody's got a name to go with the face and what department they're coming from. So, we've got 4 this first quarter, which is great. A lot of, new kitchen staff coming in and also a couple new dishwashers. So Chef, if you want to just kind of briefly touch on what we're going through here and let everybody know who's coming into the Perry Park employment area.
So Ryan's a new cook that started, about a month ago. He is a line cook in the morning. He actually worked here at Perry Park in 2012 with Chef Pete. Worked here for a season. And, his hobbies is he likes to spend time with his kids and his wife, and then he likes to go to the gym. His hometown is Colorado Springs. Cash, he's from Inglewood, he is a dishwasher. He also likes to go to the gym, and he likes to ride his ATV. Alex, he's from Denver. He is a dishwasher also. Last year he was honor roll in school, and his hobby is he likes to hang out with a lot of friends. And this is Scott, he's from Fort Collins, Colorado. He is our new grill guy. He likes to produce music, likes to go mountain biking, hiking, and likes to do a bunch of gardening. This one is not mine.
Hey, everybody, Lanny here. This is Karen Gent. She is a neighbor to any of those who live in the park. She lives on Hill 15. She is becoming indispensable and learning how to do member communications, emails, check-in calls. She's learning very quickly and she's doing a great job. She loves to go hiking, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, and pickleball, and she has a very cute puppy.
So if you see them around the clubs, say hello.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Hello, everyone online. This is Keith. Just gonna run through what's been going on in the golf operations department in GTH. Kind of as Lori mentioned, just a little behind on cart pass sales. So if you are thinking that that might be something you want to do, there's still time to get that in. If you're playing a lot of golf, definitely a value to you. I think break even's at 40 rounds, so something to consider there. Key event registration is, as Gary mentioned, this time of year, we're not playing a lot of golf, unfortunately, but there's a lot of golf to come. So definitely a lot of things on the radar to get signed up for, some of them more time sensitive than others. Women's Invitational, that opened last week, so that's open now until May 1st. So be sure to get that one in. Super Senior Invitational, that sign up opens April 1st for those that are 65 or over, and then 60 or over can sign up after April 8th. So that'll be on 4 tees. Season-long match play events, those are all open now, so hop in and get registered for those. Reminder, there's 6 different match plays that you can register for. Everything from gross, playing the blue tees against the low handicap guys, to the rest of them being net games, whether that's you and your spouse, you and a buddy. And on both sides, both men and women, there's double trouble and gold pal for team play. And then President's Cup, which is individual net match play. Those are a lot of fun and just a good way to meet some folks that maybe you wouldn't otherwise play with. You're bound to get matched up in a bracket with a potential new friend. Let's see, PPMGL and PPWGA, both registrations are open now, so be sure to hop in those if you plan to play in any of those events. A little note, the first PPMGL, the Men's Golf League event, is April 5th, weather pending, for a par 3 challenge, so 9 holes, kind of mirroring the Augusta par 3 event, and then a meeting to learn more about the league after golf. If we can't play golf, we're still gonna have a meeting, we'll have some cocktails and talk about the league to come. And then Men's Invitational, so priority 1, 2, and 3 registration closed last week. We were able to get everyone that was on the 2023 wait list that wanted to play into the event. So from this point, we're gonna generate a list of new potential participants. So there's one open spot in the actual event, everything else would be getting the queue for the wait list. So that's gonna be done via lottery this year. You'll have a 3-day window just to let me know that you wanna participate. And then we'll do a lottery randomized position for your perennial wait list. And a reminder, if you don't get in this year, you maintain your position for the future year on the wait list. So that worked out pretty well for those that were able to get in. 12 new teams into the invitational already. And then a couple of reminders, just as we do get back into golf, whenever Jason decides to help us snow away. So just key things, a lot of new members here at Prairie Park, over the kind of fall and into the winter. So 4-hour pace of play, that's still gonna be our focus point, helping everybody enjoy the round of golf and getting as many of you on the golf course as possible. The faster we play, the more we can play, essentially. And then handicap score posting requirements, so posting season is open. Not a lot of posting going on right now. Even once the snow does melt, there's a pretty good chance that we're not playing holes like 2, 11, 12, 13, 14. So keep an eye on your email. I'll let you know once we start posting for Perry Park. There's gonna be winter course conditions for a little while here to come. But if you go play somewhere else and they have a regulation golf course open and tee markers on the ground, post those scores. Let's get our accurate handicaps going. And then just a note, upcoming clinics and golf instruction. Once we do get back into golf, there's gonna be a whole lot more opportunity to learn this year than previous years. Jonah Purcell, our director of instruction, is coming on board. He starts in the middle of April, and hopefully by that point, we're playing golf and ready to invest in your golf games a little bit as well. Any questions? Never.
So you said you had one open in the men's invitational and you're gonna go to a lottery for that.
Yes, that'll be a lottery as well.
So a month from now, 2 people drop out due to medical or whatever, you go to a lottery again?
No, so what the lottery is for, that's a great question, is to develop the waitlist queue order. So as let's say we get 20 members that wanna participate, we'll use a lottery to establish, hey, you're the first on that list.
Got it.
And we'll just pull from there.
Got it.
So it just establishes that initial order. Any other
Bert?
questions?
Bert, just as a side comment to that, if I remember reading correctly, Keith, and correct me if I'm wrong, we had 12 members from the 2023 who did not sign up for 2024. So we have 12 new members or members that didn't play prior that now have the ability to play in the tournament this year.
Yeah, actually, final count was 13, and so 13 members did not re-register. So we ended up losing one more after you saw that email. All right.
Uh-oh. Wait,
We got a question online.
Okay, perfect.
Has there been much change on handicapping for each hole with new 18 hole?
There has been much change. So easiest way to see those changes, if you're not here at the club on a regular basis, the scorecard is up to date on the member website. So you can see the hole by hole handicap rankings there. And just a reminder, there was a decent amount of change. I think the women's rankings had 4 holes change. Men had quite a few more than that. We relied heavily on hole by hole data for the men's rankings, as well as a subcommittee that came together and applied their intrinsic knowledge of Perry Park as well and what made sense for those. But when we talk about that, we're not talking about one example, hole number 9. Historically for the men, that was our number 1 handicap hole. And we all know that number 9 is a difficult golf hole. What we found was it was difficult for everybody. And when we're ranking our stroke allocation holes, we're not really looking for the hardest golf hole. We're looking for the largest stroke differential between a scratch handicap and somebody with a higher handicap X. So really looking, if we isolate this to Perry Park, where does it make the most sense for Rhino to owe you a shot? And we found that to be more commonly holes like number 2, yeah, possibly every hole. Holes like number 2, number 4, made more sense and showed a larger stroke discrepancy. on those holes than a hole like a 9 or 10.
So it's published on the
It
website.
is on the website. Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Jason here. Actually feels like an afternoon with the time change where it's darker later. It's great. My best attempt to try to be nice to my friend Keith. We only dropped 23 inches of snow around here last week for those that are not in Perry Park. So, it's gonna be a bit longer. It will melt, much faster this time of year. Unfortunately, there's another 4 inches of snow forecast for Sunday, Monday. And again, March is one of our snowiest months, on average about 30 inches. So we're creeping up towards that as we work our way through. So, that being said, we were able to get most golf holes -12, 11, 12, 13, and 14 open prior to being shut down. Turf looked pretty decent. Again, a little too early to comment that it's gonna manage the spring. What we worry about right now is these high volumes of snow melt, which results in significant water flows, and those water flows are channeled in certain areas. Number 10, that you guys have all heard me say this, number 16 has some spots that we're looking at adding internal drainage to capture some of that water, get that subsurface underground so it doesn't run across the top of the turf and freeze, thaw, freeze, thaw, freeze, thaw. And when you have this large volume of snow like this, that potential happens, even though it might crest 60 degrees here during the day for 10 to 15 minutes at 2:30. It still gets cold at night, so that constant hydration, especially in the spring when the turf is starting to come out of its dormancy state, is what we really worry about. So not to be too much of a broken record on that, but we're not out of the woods yet. Greens look really good. That's not a concern for me right now. That said, we will have some cultural practice closure dates, April 8th and 9th. And then the following week, I believe it's the 15th and 16th. My eyes aren't good enough. So that's a Monday, Tuesday, and then followed by a Monday, Tuesday. We tend to lose at least 1.5 to 2 of those days every year. Last year was the first time in 3 years here, 3 springs, that we were able to actually get out and be functional and operational for those long stretches. That'll be very similar this year as to years past. Deep sign aerification, and then sealing those holes up with a smaller star tine to smooth everything back out. And then verticutting the fairways that have a lot of bent grass in them. So that'll be our goal there. We'll get some key staff and some additional seasonal staff coming back at the start of April, so excited about that. A lot of pine cones, a lot of pine needles out there to be addressed, and then just getting the golf course prepped and ready for when you can actually post scores. Another huge note that I would like to mention, there's been some talk about equipment on our April Grounds and Greens meeting on the 2nd. That afternoon, we're gonna have kind of a little bit of an open house down at the golf maintenance facility at 4:30 for any members that would like to come down, tour, look at some of the equipment and spend some time understanding what not each one of those pieces of equipment, but just from a scale perspective, we have over 76 pieces of equipment that we utilize in one way, shape or form to prepare the golf course on any given day. So
What day is that?
that would be Tuesday, April 2nd, 4:30. It depends on the sign up. We might have to get the beverage cart working if we can get it doubled up. Maybe there'll be a raffle. Yeah, so all in all, pretty excited. It's nice to see the sun. We're ready to go. We're excited to get out there, get ready to go. The biennial inspection of the spillway or the dam. So every 2 years that happens, given our hazard class. So that's gonna take place in April as well, just another evaluation, just something else to point out that's pretty critical that we look at. So, other than that, questions? Comments?
Would you like to explain what a turbidity curtain
A
is?
turbidity curtain. It's the really flashy yellow, device that we have connected underneath the bridge as you cross over to the putting green. So what it does, it's actually a flotation device that has a bit of a curtain underneath, it goes down 3 feet. So in theory, it would help prevent range balls from migrating from the north end of the lake to the south end of the lake, which would help the ops team in being able to reacquire those. As the water levels drop in the summer, you get to the end of the season, it's not very deep on that 18T side. And once balls get captured and stuck up there, in the muck and mud, they can potentially be lost. So hopefully it's a solution that will be viable to, again, help the ops team and the range balls. It's hidden the best that we can possibly hide it. It is bright yellow, but it will serve its purpose.
I did see people out snowshoeing on 9, I don't know how far they went. Just in driving around, have you seen much activity on the golf course?
Now, not since this most recent storm.
Good.
As long as they don't track across greens, that's really the key. And then really with the snowshoe, you're not putting a significant amount of down pressure per square inch, so you're not packing that as much.
But still don't do it.
But still, yes, we would request that you don't do that. There's a lot of things that we would request that don't get done, riding bicycles, motorized bicycles, ATVs, golf carts with aggressive tires. Stuff like that.
All
Is that it?
That's it?
Perfect,
Good job.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, I'm gonna Stacy to just give me to zoom in. We redid the slides just a little bit for everybody here, so. Landing here for membership, so, we ended the month of February at a cap of 309. So we did have more resignations than we planned for. We can go through that in the next slide, so we do have room to grow. As far as the top 3 updates, we did acquire an out-of-area membership, transfer, 1 professional to, and then also a junior golf to full upgrade. And initiation fees are holding steady. As far as the membership data, we've got 366 golf memberships, 181 social and Centennial Social. So that's where we are for our numbers. Once again, quite a few resignations in the winter. As far as our membership breakdown, can everybody see that okay? No, I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, much better. Yeah. Okay, so for full equity, 214, professional, we're at 60, we've got 1 on the wait list. Junior 27, our cap is 31, so we've got some room for our junior memberships as well. And then going down the list, are the different other types of memberships. And our average age of member is, still at 61.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
So that 542, does that count husband and wife? Or is it like 1 golf membership?
It's 1 membership, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this relates to the survey that just went out. We had 147 approximately returns on that survey. And I was just curious what the total number of people could have responded.
Yeah.
So it's way more than 542.
Right, yep, so when we send out emails from the club, we send them out to every active member who's got an email address. So right now that number is a little over 950.
Okay.
So that's who it reaches, and then, they have the opportunity to do that survey.
Right, so we talked in the House Committee about how to up that response rate. I know that response rate, that's probably 147 was maybe good, but it seems like we're such a community here that we should get better than that. And how we might offer some incentives or something. If you fill out this form, you might get a little something. Because we'd like to hear from everybody, or a lot more than what we've heard from. Thank you.
Okay, let's see if I can. Just exit. Thank you. Okay, so this is some resignation data. So, a variety, so this is gonna be did not use a dues increase coming up, lifestyle change too far, and, did not use social. So we did have 6 resignations in February, and those are the various reasons. That would be, break down to 4 social, 1 professional, and 1 junior. Next slide, so resignations year to date. So total golf 7, total social 13, and here are the various reasons. The primary one being moving and did not use. Everybody see that okay? Okay. We do want to welcome some returning members, Tim and Maureen Lenahan. They are our new out-of-state members and looking forward to joining us full when their lifestyle, adheres to that. We do have some updates for marketing. I think we updated this last meeting. We did win, a CAGI award. We did also start notifications through the Perry Park app. So we encourage everybody to get that app. There's a lot of things that you can do with it. Check your statement, make tea times, make dining reservations, register for events, print the scorecard, just a ton of things. And we'd love to start being able to send more messages through that. So we're starting to do that about once a week. But you have to make sure that in your settings on your device, it's toggled to receive notifications. Our monthly emails, I'm sending out to our lead database. So there's about 5,000 plus contacts that I send emails to just to let them know we're still here and able for them to come out and join us for a tour or a tea time, and if they're interested in membership. We did send out the first survey, which we talked about a little bit, and then we are boosting our ads on Google and Facebook. A little slower months of January and February, and also March, which is expected due to the snow. And then we also have a new anniversary campaign. So if you guys would like to send me your anniversary date, we can feature you in, bear with me, that's a little blurry, in the Fairway Views, and then you do get a drink on the house, 2 drinks on the house. And that's just our accolade from Avid Golfer. Denver Region Club, the best one for private. Anybody have any questions?
Good update, thank you.
But I do have a question, just because I went to my phone where I have the app. Do you do the notifications accepted in settings or in the actual app?
You do it in the settings of your phone.
Right.
And then when you are in the app, you can go to the menu button and notifications are at the top.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, this is Justin and this is Kevin, who are representing House Committee.
You may want to speak up a bit so they can hear you on the mic.
Or come closer.
Come closer.
Come closer. Closer still.
I'm Jeff, this is Kevin, we are representing House Committee. For the kitchen, developing more menus for member dining. I'm in the stage right now to create new menus for spring and summer. Hopefully get some new ideas that from this next Shamrock show that we're gonna have in May, and then I'll come and create the rest of the new menus. Hopefully have the new menu rolled out by April or the beginning of May. And then operation enhancements, increasing the flow of the kitchen. We have 2 fryers back there. We serve a lot of fried food. You know, a lot of orders come in all at once, so we are gonna add another fryer. Brand new fryer is gonna come in, then we're gonna have to add a whole new Hansel system for that fryer, and that's for the new hood that we got put in last winter during the HVAC project. That's where it's gonna go. And then a personal update, I am gonna be doing my food safety course April 2nd. It was last week during the snowstorm, but it got canceled because of that. This has to be done every 4 years. Actually, highlight, Keith is actually a certified manager for food safety too, so.
Is he giving the test?
No, I'm gonna test him though.
Do whatever you feels better.
Yeah.
And then, next slide, please.
All right, thank you so much. Kevin Brown reporting for front of the house. Update on covers and sales through the first 2 months of the year. If you can navigate to the next screen, it's our next page is on there. So for this year, we have $63,000 in sales, and we've served 2,700 people. So that's the most we've done year to date in the last 3 years. And I assume that goes historically as well, where year to date has been the best start to any year so far as sales and the amount of people we have seen in the dining room area.
That's a big increase. That's really good.
Yeah, last year we were able to be open because of the HVAC renovation, but the year prior in 22, we did 56,000. In 2021, we did 40. So we've increased what we brought into the club, and with staff increase as well, things are trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
We can go back to the other screen. Thank you so much. Upcoming events, we have trivia next Thursday on the 28th. I have spoken with a gentleman who's helping me with that. We will have a QR code for everyone to download the app tableside once they arrive, but there will be some communication with that as well, so you guys know where to navigate through that with some instructions. We also have Easter brunch. We are actually sold out for the second seating, so the 12:30 seating is sold out at over 115 people. So total number is 180. We still have some room available for the 10 a.m. seating, and we do an Easter egg hunt right in between at 11:30. So for those of you that have young ones or grandchildren that would like to attend that, you are welcome to be present for that, even if you're not attending brunch. We have a wine tasting April 3rd, and that is all Sauvignon Blancs, Kendall Jackson, we have Matanzas Creek. So actually I have 4 different Sauvignon Blancs to sample, and that is free. So love for you guys to come check that out and enjoy some Sauvignon Blancs. We have a live coach demonstration by Nicole Wegg. So she's a certified life coach personnel, I guess I could say. And she'll be hosting that in this room. It's free for members to attend. So we're just introducing new events, different perspective to get people involved with being here at the club and enjoying different events. So we also have live music that same evening on the 13th. So live coach demonstration in this room and then live music in the dining room afterwards. We are doing staff training for all of our front of the house employees. This month, coming up, or at the end of the month, we'll be doing tableside wine service. So we're teaching staff members as a group how to be more polished, how to execute opening bottles of wine. Staff members are not born with that knowledge, so it takes someone outside of me and good exposure for them to learn from other people outside of Paul and myself. So we'll be doing that later on this month. And we have some flyers on the next page. The brunch flyer, Easter brunch trivia, and Nicole Wagg's flyer as well.
Any questions online or? No. Good. All right. Doing pretty good then. All right,
Thank you so much.
Any other comments?
Tea in box right now.
A lot of great news. Really appreciate the hard work getting ready. If we can just get the golf group to open up the golf course.
I've been lobbying for this.
Not a chance.
All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming.
It's the same thing.
Keith, I was gonna volunteer